conservative lifestyle. People all did the same thing. The ethos mindset was in full effect. Everyone did the same thing, moved the same way, and they wanted the same outcome. To me, we no longer live in a world where everyone wants the same thing, or they're not going to pretend that they're a part of this status quo that society's creating. Now it's all about having a diverse lifestyle. I don't live different. I live different from this person. You know what I'm saying? Or we raise our kids different. So when we come with the First Amendment, we say a lot of people are getting censored when they speak against this or when they say this or that. Is it necessary though? Because so many people now today live a different lifestyle.
It's not necessary.
It's not at all.
It's not necessary at all. No, because at the end of the day, the country was founded on principles, and one of those principles was having the freedom of speech, right? Having the right to say what you want to say, regardless. It didn't say, all right, you have the right to say what you want to say as long as no one else get offended by it. It says you have the right, the freedom to speech, right? And I feel like we can't ever erase that. I think what we have become is a society where everybody is super sensitive.
Pacified.
Yeah. And it's like you giving out participation trophies, if somebody feelings hurt, it's like we can't continue down that path. Like there would be no strength in the youth that's coming behind us if we're living according to that. I mean, I feel like you should be able to hear someone say something that you disagree with and still be like, all right, I just disagree with that. But not, cancel him. He shouldn't be here. He shouldn't make no money to feed his kids. We shouldn't play none of his shows on TV. Like, no, just because you disagree with it.
Okay, well let's start where it all starts with. I feel like in the adolescence. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it all starts with being on the playground and kids start voicing their opinions and practicing freedom of speech on another kid who is helpless to a lifestyle they have to live. I always tell you how I had a friend from New York. You from the state of New York, right?
Right.
And my friend told me one day, he said, you got some Skippies on. And I was like, what are Skippies? He said, some ragged ass shoes. You know what I'm saying? That was his right to do so. How did I feel after he did that, yo? Like, how did I feel about I couldn't buy me no shoes, man. Those was the best things I could put on my feet at that time. I'm not mad at him for that. I've been rocking fly shoes for the rest of my life since the day he told me I had on some motherfucking Skippies. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, what if he would have sat back and said, I don't know how the cause and effect is going to work out if I tell this brother he has on some Skippy tennis shoes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know how, if I go sit down and tell the person that is part of a community, hey, I don't want you, the community that you're a part of on blast in front of my child. But I don't know if this person was forced into this community as a child or just the racist person. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, your father, your grandpa might have raised you to be racist. But are they allowed to have freedom of speech and say, well, I don't like niggas. I don't like black people, or I don't like this, that, and the third. Are they allowed?
I totally believe they are allowed to.
So
like that, I'm not biased about this, bro.
So you mean to tell me a white man in this today and age, a white man or a white woman is allowed to practice their freedom of speech when it comes to how they may racially feel against a black person, a Chinese person, a Mexican person, anybody in this world?
I feel they should, and you know why? Because
they can.
Because now you know who to look out for. Right?
Listen.
If people showing their true colors, if they're telling you,
this is mad
if they're
crazy.
telling you, I don't like black people, right?
Then you know, verbs. Are they allowed to tell you that?
They have the freedom of speech, bro.
They have okay.
Like that's what I'm standing on. So I'm not gonna say they're not allowed to, but then still advocate for the First Amendment. I'm advocating for the First Amendment in every aspect, bro. You have the freedom of speech. You have the right to feel.
I feel like you real enough emotionally. You know what I'm saying? And logically, with a logos mindset to say if I gotta want freedom of speech, I gotta take what comes with that. Right, I don't feel like not everybody's built like that. So because not everybody is built like that, they're willing to be quiet about what they got to say as long as somebody else be quiet what they got to say about them. Is that not 100?
That's what they're doing. That all what a lot of people doing. But it's like, is that beneficial?
But is it 100? Because it's balanced. If they're giving what they're asking for, is that balanced?
Well, I would say it's not balanced. And here's what I'm going to tell you it's not balanced because it actually don't go like that, right?
It really don't. People talk about it like a motherfucker. Right? I was going to say that, but...
For example, like, let's just speak on LGBT community, right?
Okay.
Like, it's things that they can say that they don't get backlash for. But like the moment you say something about them,
well, let's dig into it. Let's dig into it so that we're not just stabbing in the dark or being vague or not being detailed without. Let's say, okay, if I'm a straight man, I have never in my life, and it's based on my love for women.
Right.
I don't understand that path only because I'm in love with women. I have a wife, you know what I'm saying? I got kids, you know, that was just my life, you know what I'm saying? Not judging nobody else's life. So what are some things that I feel like a man of that culture could tell me that would offend me? You know, and I'm asking you that, like, you know, I don't know because I don't be around them like that. If I'm around them like that, I keep it kosher. I just treat them as men.
So I'll put it like this, right? And it's not talking about an individual. It's talking about the movement, the agenda, right?
Okay.
So if the agenda is telling me that I can't teach my son how to be a man, that's a problem, bro.
By your definition of a man.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I can't teach my son, like, all right, so let me
That was
reframe
real right there, right?
If I can't teach my son, right, that I want him to continue a legacy, I want him to be with a woman, have children with a woman, the natural essence of how shit works.
Because that
you
affects
get what I'm saying?
society.
Exactly. So if I say that, it's like, oh, you gay bashing and you doing all this other stuff, and it's like, no, I'm not.
Because you're culturally installing something in your home.
That's it. That's all. I'm installing something in my son that he's gonna continue a legacy. If my son decides to be, you know, homosexual and be into men, and then now, you know, that's all he do for the rest of his life, and at that point you can't produce any offsprings that way. We know that. This is not fake. This is not made up. Like two men can't produce a baby. I want my son to continue our legacy. You know what I mean? Because you know our daughters, they get married, they change their last name, they actually continue legacies for the man that they with.
I mean, that's
right.
Yeah.
My son is which is our offspring, which is, you know, in essence a version of us. They are here to continue our legacy.
Man, you got to hold your point on that because you just hurt my goddamn feelings. I got a little girl, and I'm just telling everybody right now, my grandchildren, them still my grand. When my grandson run that football, that's still my, I don't give a fuck what the last name is. That's still my little grand. Now, I understand that my baby girl she might be a Patterson, you know, Schmilf. She might not be what our last name is no more.
Right.
But and I have a son and I have a daughter, you know what I'm saying, biologically, and also I have a stepson. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even with my stepson, like, you know what I'm saying, when his kids go on, you know, and do what they do, I'm still I raised your daddy. I'm raising you now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I totally understand and agree with what you're saying. You know, installing something in your kids that you want to move on to the next generation because you feel like it's detrimental and key to survival.
Right. You can't demonize me for that. And that's what I'm saying. That culture demonize you for that. But on the other hand, you can't say nothing that you disagree
Why
with.
Do you
with
think
that
that
culture or
is?
anything. It's because it's an agenda. And when the agenda is being pushed, they gotta silence any narrative that's opposing that.
Okay.
So and that's where I'm saying it's not balanced. Okay. If it was balanced.
You're saying it's not a fair fight.
Right.
It's a balanced idea. It's not a fair fight in reality. Is what I'm getting from.
It's not because it seems like any narrative that's different from public opinion, the media-led narrative, is the people that get canceled, is the people that get ridiculed, is the people that get attacked, and so on and so forth, right? Like even let's talk about like the vaccine thing, right?
Okay, you
right?
Jump to the vaccine,
right? Because there's people that agree with vaccines, there's people that disagree with vaccines.
Yeah.
But now we're living in a society where if you disagree with vaccines or you speaking out in opposition to vaccines, you're getting canceled. But you're a problem.
But there's the belief with the vaccines that you not getting the vaccine can get me sick, and you don't have no medical degree. I don't have no medical degree. Now, I did not receive the vaccine based on the fact I'm scared. You know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. But I'm not against somebody going get it, coming telling me how they survive, and you know, and I might consider it later or whatever the case. But as far as the freedom of speech of it, someone saying, "Well, I'm not gonna get the vaccine because." I don't believe in it versus someone saying, well, I don't want to get the vaccine because I had adverse effects to the vaccine, you know, or this happened, or I still caught it, or whatever the case may be. I feel like those people being censored on factual things that they evidently can produce and give people in real time and say, look, I got the vaccine and now my jaw look crooked 3 months later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't censor that, but at the same time, somebody just saying, but they do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, but as people, this is why I got to come at you with it. Okay, as people, I feel like government agendas always are going to put a shade on people having a common relationship when it comes to ideas when we live with our lifestyles, how we look at life with our point of views, the government agenda is always going to shadow that and shade that. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I could cut on TV and feel like that's the status quo and that's what's going on. But at the end of the day, when I cut off that TV and go live life, I might see and experience, demographically depending on where I'm at, I might see and experience something totally different than what I cut on with TV.
Right.
So when you cut on TV, I feel like you do see that community have a lot of power. You know, they it's a lot of censorship going on because that's what they're putting on the news. You know what I'm saying? Versus when I walk into the club, if I want to just scream at this man, he gay. Man, what they gonna do me at the club? What, everybody gonna jump me? Like, nah, bro, I'm not getting censored at the club. If I go to the gym and say, nah, don't pick him up, he a little fruity. Like, what, the police gonna come arrest me?
No,
they're not. So it's like, I don't want to confuse government agendas with what really goes on in life. Nah, if this gay dude might have a shot, if I don't want him on the team and me and you go play, I'm gonna say, Verbs, don't pick him up. Is he gonna get picked up? If that's how I feel, not saying that if he got a shot, I'm trying to win.
I understand.
That's just me. You know what
true.
I'm saying? I don't care what he do, because my one point about them people, I'm not fucking them. They not finna fuck me. I'm 6'1", 220 pounds. You're not finna do me nothing. So what you doing that night, that's not my business.
Right,
but if you gonna come in this court and make this shot, dude, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But if my partner say, DK, don't pick him up, and he just say this, you gonna get arrested?
No.
Sued?
No.
Nah. So I don't feel like and I'm just advocating for.
And I'm actually with you on that, because I feel like what you're saying is correct. I feel like as much as they put it in the media and make it seem like it's a big thing, in the real world, it's not really that big thing. Like I've heard the baby, because we seen what happened with the baby situation.
What was about in particular? What about, because he got a lot of
when he got canceled from Rolling Loud in the festival because of the comments he made. They said it was like gay type of comments.
He not doing whatever in the parking lot.
But the crazy thing is, and this is word, I swear, bro. When I watched it and I listened to what he said, I said, how the fuck they know he wasn't talking about females sucking dick in the parking lot? Why you automatically assume like he was talking about some gay shit because he said if you're not sucking dick in the parking lot?
Was there anything else in the context of what he said that might have led to people, you know, assuming or insinuating that that's what he was saying? Because I don't think if he just, I mean, because women suck dick in a lot of parking lots. I mean, come on, bro. When you said that, you kind of messed me up, because I'm like, damn, 90% of heads, blowjobs, probably in a parking lot, in a car with some tinted windows. You know?
So what I'm saying is, and I don't even want to put context on it. What I'm saying is, he got ridiculed because they say he said something that was flagrant to that community, and then Boosie get, you know, backlash and crucified because of how he come at like Lil Nas X. But then both of them, right? Mm-hmm. Boosie and Baby, I watched the interviews on different occasions where they both said, like, in the real world, in real time, no gay people that's around them, that's in their circle, that they work with, that's in their family, feels the way the media is saying gay people feel.
Like,
you get what I'm saying?
Like Boosie say, gay people love me.
Yeah, right.
Boosie said that.
He said that.
He said gay people love me. Gay people fuck with me.
So it's
and I think they do.
I believe it. I do believe it.
I think everybody loves Lil Boosie. Like, I'm just gonna be 100. That, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even if you don't listen to all his music or agree with his lifestyle or whatever, as a person,
why do they love Lil Boosie though?
Because he him.
Exactly. That's my point, bro. He's gonna say what he say when he want to say how he want to say it.
Yeah, but
like, and that's it.
But shit, people. But he got a lot of motherfuckers hate him too, though.
Yeah, and that comes with the territory. You know,
he done lost like 4 Instagrams.
It's alright. It comes with territory.
I think that nigga want his Instagrams back.
He want his Instagrams back. He definitely want his Instagrams back.
I think homie will like his first
make
Instagram.
No mistake about it. He want his Instagrams back.
I think homie want that IG back for sure.
That's
you feel what I'm saying? Like, nah, I ain't gonna
make no mistake about it.
I ain't gonna hold you on that.
But at the same token, he like, I sure ain't about to silence my ass up to get it back either. Like, I'm just gonna keep moving.
I tried to go look up the statements he made at Rolling Loud. My dumb ass ain't hook up the damn internet connected to the computer. All fancy up here with the computer. Ain't no internet to it. Ain't that a Negro? Oh my goodness. But getting back on topic.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is it not his platform that's more offensive than what he has to say? Sometimes it's not what a person says. It's just who's saying it. Sometimes it's more of the bullet than the gun. You know, I can go shoot you with a certain bullet and that hole might go right through. Versus I hit you with a hollow point, big old hole in you. You know, I shot you with a bullet that was meant to not just hit you but to destroy you. When we use our tongue and our words, is that what we intending to do?
No.
You know, is that what we want to do? Do we want people to feel good about what we're saying, or do we want them to be offended by what we're saying? And is that all about the presentation and what we're saying to them, the diction, the words we choose, you know, and the manner we're saying it to them? Is it more important to get the message across that I'm looking out for you and I'm just telling you this information in order to better you, or I'm just gonna tell it to you like it's raw? You know, like grandma never used to tell you, boy, you're musty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
wash your ass.
Wash your ass. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you, man. So, you know, I just want to be able to maturely explain to especially men, since we are the heads of society, assume so anyway. That's a whole other topic for a whole other day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think you out doing these women getting bread. We got to step it up. That's a whole other topic though. But you know, as heads of society, and let's say at least in the spiritual manner, it's very important the words that we put out there and the way that we speak to other people in society, that we understand what our purpose is for doing that. Because even though people might not, and it took me a long time with playing the dozens. You know, I'm from the South. You from New York, down south, we play the dozens. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the South. I talk about your ass daily. I'm talking about laughing your face, you know. But we grew up like that.
You do the same thing in New York?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Get the ranking on your ass.
Ranking, you know, high side and scoring. You know, we sit up there and talk about you like a dog with the intent of what? Tearing you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So inevitably in life, do we not take that skill, and when we start, okay, they say you can't mix what they say, water and oil don't mix. Okay, I feel like when you go to tell somebody something authentic, you know what I'm saying? Hey, DK, you got a bug in your nose. I'm like, damn, I'm on air with a bug in my nose. Hold on, shit. Oh, this nigga look, and you ain't tell me in front of everybody. You ain't say it on air, but you let me know. I can fix that. Okay, or you can say, hey, homie, you got a bug in your nose. I'm like, dude, we on air. We're recording. You know, why would you tell me? So is it not what people have to say? Is it not the manner, the situation, and in the context and when they say it, verbs?
Well, context always matters. I agree with you 100% on that. Context always matter. And you know, I'm gonna come right back to what you're saying, but the reason why I'm gonna say that is because there's been a lot of controversy around Joe Rogan, right?
Okay.
Joe Rogan.
I love me some Joe Rogan because he 100.
Yeah,
he just like Boosie.
Exactly.
He another soul that's gonna tell it how T.I. is.
How it is. That's it.
And he's sorry how that make you feel, but that's what life is. You know, I love me some Joe Rogan.
Right, and he's also gonna bring up people that's gonna have a different narrative from what the public is pushing. So with that being said, the reason why I said context is when I seen all this stuff going around, controversy about him and using N-word, like I ain't jump off the fence emotionally about it. I said, yo, I want to see what context he used it in, because that's what I need to know. What context did he use it in? Did he? We're gonna get to that, because I kind of know where you're going right now. So I want you to hold that. But this is what I'm saying. Like, did he call someone a nigga?
Who was the white girl?
Or did he reference the word? And then when I seen the context in which he used it, I'm like, I don't have a problem with him saying that.
I'm laughing because who was the nice old white lady that said nigga and black folks went off the, was it Sarah Lee?
I don't know her name.
It wasn't Sarah Lee.
I don't know.
Martha
lady,
Stewart.
Right.
It was Martha Stewart.
Okay.
And I love me some Martha. You know what I'm saying? Martha didn't hurt my feelings at all. All the recipes and butter and she done put on meals and I just
and she be cooking with Uncle Snoop.
Yeah, my grandma called me nigga. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm pretty sure Snoop gave her a Negro pass to say, you know, how many secrets. And I think that's the problem. We talk about freedom of speech, but we don't never come tell people, hey, I gave this white boy a nigga pass. You know what I'm saying? He got me my job. I told him we was in the truck. We was drinking beers after work. I said, you know what? You my nigga. You say, can I say it? I told the white boy he can say it. You don't never say when you was in college and you was talking to the white woman in college and y'all was laying up. You say, you know what? You can say it. I can say it. Yeah, you know, we talking. We done laid up, made love. Girl, you done made love to me so good. You can go on say it. Nigga, you don't never go back out in public that you done told somebody, that you done told that white person that they can say it. And we give out nigga passes all the time. And we don't never admit it. I'm not saying you have. I'm not saying I have. I'm saying in society I've seen it.
So listen, I can say
I've seen it.
I can say.
Could you tolerate a white man saying nigga in common with you? As in he's saying you my nigga. That's how he feel. He grew up in a black community. He got a go.
Right.
He got braids. He got a black woman, mixed kids. He hoop better than you. He'll cross your ass up. And you can hoop. I've seen you ball. You can hoop. He'll cross your ass up and he's white.
So all I'm saying is,
Can White Iverson call you nigga?
Back in the day, I would have said no. But because I'm more mature now and I'm not so, I don't let words have power over me. Yeah, if we rocking like that, like you just explained, and I'm like, and I'm saying, yo, that's my nigga, then it's all right for yo, that's my nigga.
Pass. Yeah. Okay. But see, at the same time, that's something that the whole world, this is why I get back to the freedom of speech, okay, and why it's so dangerous. That's a personal relationship I may have with a white person, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, I take that personal relationship and I tell them, oh, it's okay for you to go out there with a million other niggas and say that. Go out there and he get his ass whooped. Or she get disrespectful, say she get called racist because, you know what I'm saying, she's singing a song with her little kids one day and she says my nigga because she think about a nigga she talked to in college or in high school and they used to listen to 50 Cent together.
Or because it's in every fucking sentence of every rap song ever heard.
That's what I was going to say.
Like you think they home repeating this shit saying my N-word, my N-word, you think they saying that shit?
Back to the thesis.
No, they saying the actual word. That's a fact.
So getting back to the thesis statement, when freedom of speech becomes offensive to people, is that too based on what I call a pathos mindset? You just want to feel emotionally angry,
right? And
you just want to be upset at what somebody's saying, but in all reality, you say it like the N-word with black people. We say my N-word and my all this, that, and that, but we want to get political with it when we feel educated. Well, I don't say nigger anymore. Why, nigga? You ain't no nigga no more.
Right.
What happened? You went to college and just stopped being a nigga?
Right.
Because you an alpha or omega or what? I don't care. Well, you still a nigga.
So
on paper.
I agree with that. And that's no different than and now I'm gonna say this gonna be sensitive to some females, but it's like females walk around all day. Oh, that's my bitch. I'm a bad bitch. This and that third. But if a nigga call her a bitch, then it's a problem. It's like, yo, you call yourself a bitch, you reference yourself a bitch at least 350 times a day.
Like if we shooting pool, and you like, what you finna do? I'm finna go to the house and see my bitch cooking. And then let my phone had called home and my wife heard me say some bullshit like that. I'm a bitch at the house. But she taking the food, throwing that shit on the floor. Who your bitch? You know what I'm saying? We hop on the phone to home girl. Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, right.
Got that income tax check, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck? But I feel like that's why I feel like the First Amendment, rightfully so, should be tweaked a little bit because that time where that First Amendment was amended, them people were more mature. They were more set in a set lifestyle. Like I say, when it came to how they looked at life, they all looked at life the same way. That mattered when it came to making that law.
So let me tell you something. Like,
you feel what I'm saying?
So if they have amended the First Amendment speech, all right. Well, matter of fact, let me.
And what would that change in society? That's gonna be our next.
Yeah.
What would if we're not allowed to say what we've? I have no power. I have no platform. I just can't say black people get black in the summertime because black people don't like that. What the fuck? Is black people still gonna get black in the summertime?
Absolutely.
So what the fuck is they saying? We gonna take away y'all saying shit that offend people. I just want to know what is that gonna change? Because we gonna have these right here, and we gonna have this right here, and everybody gonna see and know what's going on in life.
Which is why I feel like it shouldn't be altered. That's why it shouldn't be altered, because at the end
of
the day,
the point of having a podcast.
If the reality is the reality, then what you
like this man. That's why I rock with him. I think nothing like this man. That's why I rock with him. It don't matter. It don't matter.
We two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Cass.
You know what I'm saying? like I totally agree with what you said. It doesn't matter. But I feel like when nothing is said, it's like something that is, what was Newton's law? When anything is at rest, it has not been what? Messed with. It's gonna remain at rest. What could be a synonymous term for rest? Motherfucking peace. Mm-hmm. So when nothing is said, I used to know this growing up in my house. I grew up in a very, very domestic violent, you know what I'm saying? We was in the hood. Daddy was trapping. I grew up in a house that was like, I noticed the days that nothing was said, there was the most peaceful motherfucking days in that house. The days everybody was quiet. We watched Dragon Ball Z. Mom was on the phone with her hunger. Nobody said shit to nobody. Then with the days, nothing bad happened. One fucked up argument. Next thing I know, mama throwing iron at daddy. Daddy ain't going out like no hoe. The police getting called. We sitting up there crying like some little marks. You know what I'm saying? Because something was said. You know what I'm saying? The tongue is too powerful, I feel, to give, I feel like people that right. If you spiritually believe in the power of the tongue, then I don't feel like you would just take that power and just tell everybody, oh, y'all got the right to just say what y'all want to say. Now, I feel like that's not to be used in vain, or when something's going wrong, people can't speak up. But I'm just saying based on people's opinion. When it comes to facts, facts is facts. I'm not saying that nobody is able to go out there and at all times and analyze and express their analytical point of view on facts, things that we can see. But how you feel, is it going too far with how people feel, no matter how people live it?
So I feel like the tongue is most powerful when it's being spoken to someone with a less value of emotional intelligence.
Man, the tongue is more powerful when it's speaking the truth.
When it's speaking the truth, definitely.
Period.
But what I'm saying is more powerful depending on who's on the other end of those words. If the person on the other end of those words is more like can control their emotions, then you say, for example, let me break it down.
I get
to
you
like
saying
this.
if I punch a bodybuilder.
No, hold on. So there's niggas in the hood right now on
Yeah.
the corner doing their thing. Get what I'm saying? That if a white person walked up to them and said, "You nigga," it's gonna be a totally different reaction than if a white person went and said it to someone working in corporate America.
Why though?
Right? So the reason why is because I consider it to be the emotional intelligence. So one, niggas in the hood that we say nigga all day long, we're gonna be more emotionally offended, right, by a white person saying it, just because of the whole race.
So you
thing,
saying
right?
so you saying the nigga with a degree, which he got his degree from a white school, the nigga with a successful white job, cause any big company, any Fortune 5, there's only two niggas that own Fortune 500 companies, which means that's 498 companies owned by a white boy.
Right.
So if you saying the nigga that get called nigga at his white boy job, he's more confident in himself. Why? Because he rubbing shoulders with the white boy?
Not just he rubbing shoulders with the white boy. He got more. His emotional intelligence is kicking in to where I can punch him and lose my fucking whole career over him just saying a word, or I can just say some foul shit back to him or whatever the case may be, and we keep it moving. So his emotional intelligence is gonna make him handle that situation different, because if he making $300,000 a year, bro, he ain't about to lose $300,000 a year because a white boy said nigga to him and he wanted to knock this nigga out on the job. Like, so you gonna risk everything?
Yeah, but I feel like intelligence is giving them a lot of credit versus survival. That dude on the block, one thing I always give dudes on the block credit for, and the way I talk men out of being on the block, is to say that, dude, this is always an option. You know that, right? You can always go be the square. You can always go to college. You can always go get a trade.
Facts.
This is always an option for you. You do realize you should diversify yourself as a person. Learn how to become a plumber. Learn how to be an artist if you can draw. Go pick up a tattoo gun. Anything besides just doing what you already know how to do.
Right.
So when the dude that say, I can go beat his ass, go to jail, bail out like I always do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And be right back on the block doing the same thing that inevitably, if I'm not in jail, they can't stop me from doing. How is he not more liberated to act on how he feels? Both of them black men are offended. I'm sorry, both of them are. One, I feel like is more liberated in his lifestyle when it comes to corporate America and this capitalist society that we live in, versus one is more dependent. So one has learned that my key to survival is to go with the flow, no matter if the flow says I'm a nigga or Negro or whatever the case may be, versus another one that says I have learned to adapt to a way of society where I don't have to depend on going to work for Jim, John, or Jennifer. I can go to work in the trap and I go give me something. I hate to say it, but that's what most people are doing. If they're not working, they're trapping.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
And in a sense, that is liberation. That is freedom.
That's liberation.
It is freedom. It's basically taking your destiny in your own hand. Like
I feel like that's why he gonna swing, because hey, I'm not the nigga at the job that come get with you.
But I think more so that person is swinging because they are emotionally attached to that word. That word has power over them. So if a white person say that to them, they feel, what the, you know what I mean?
So this gets back to my point with why I even brought up, the white people in the first place. When you get to the point where spiritually you connect with a white person, a Mexican person, a Chinese person, to the point where you no longer, as a black person, see skin color with them, and you begin sharing the demographical things that you, because that's your culture. Saying my nigga is black culture, I am sorry, but it is. Cut on any movie, cut on any rap song. I mean, from Roots to 2 Chainz dropping True Religion, it'd been nigga, 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 in every sentence in everybody's mouth. You feel what I'm saying? So what if I accept the Asian person and they are, and I let them say that? That's why I brought that up. Because once again, when it comes to this whole race thing, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have people who feel us is always gonna be indebted to what we've been through as black people, whatever. But hey, if he got, we need to get
past that. That's a whole nother segment too, bro. People been holding on to this shit too long, and I ain't saying forget it, but like to keep celebrating this shit and to keep
Juneteenth and all that. But I can't say nigga.
But it's like, come on, bro. Like you keep reliving this shit over and over again, and we talking about the power of words and the power of energy and things like that. Like you keep putting this slave energy in the atmosphere every year, every February, every June. Like now they want to push the CRT shit, so they want to continue like pushing it down our kids' throat in school. Like I don't like. Man. Come on, man. Enough is enough already.
Enough is enough. But at the same time, I mean, people, getting back to the freedom of speech, people want to talk about slavery. We ain't did nothing about it. What have we ever done about slavery? So once again, people want to go talk about something because why? Inevitably, like I was saying earlier, what is your purpose for saying what are you saying with the power of freedom of speech? If it's to acknowledge a fact, okay, that's cool. So like I say, people want to acknowledge the facts of what black people have been through, what they have gone through, and where they've come when it comes to Black History Month, when it comes to Juneteenth. I mean, this is always a reminder. I mean, how can people not look at it like, just from this sense of view, just from a different point of view? I'm gonna remind you every day that I start off as a slave, even though I'm LeBron now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still gonna let you know how that might be, because I know one thing: white folks tired of hearing about it. White folks tired of going to school and hearing about freedom of speech and black folks being able to freely say with freely they able to say, hey, yo granddaddy used to own me, and look, I got on the new Jordans and you got on some, I don't know what them is, little white boy. You know, white folks don't care about shoes like that. Some of them do. The cool white boys do. I ain't gonna sleep on my white folks. White folks got drip now. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They learn from us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same token of time, you don't think white folks getting tired of hearing, like the same way you tired of it as a black man?
They are. Look, I agree. I believe they are tired of it. But here's the fucked up thing: because of the society we live in, they can't even say that. And this is why I say freedom of speech is needed. You get what I'm saying? Like I can't even say as a like if I was a white man, I can't even say, yo, black people.
Shut up already.
Yeah, like aren't y'all tired of like like shit done changed drastically since then? You get what I'm saying?
Like y'all
but
LeBron now.
You keep running with this narrative, and the narrative is coming from sorry to say it, not sorry to say it. It's coming from the left, bro. It's coming from these fucking Democrats.
I'm 60-40 with it, and I'm primarily in 60% agreement with you, because that's the same thing you hear when you go to college or when you go on these high-paying jobs. When you sit in a room full of black people and everybody does real estate and everyone is educated and everything, slavery is not an excuse. It's not real anymore. We've made it. It's like, okay, cool. Well, let's just, let's stop being so hard on the white folk. White folk cool. Some of them helped us during slavery. Some of them was hiding us behind bookshelves. We don't get them no credit. You know what I'm saying? None of that, did that, and third. Well, you can't say that now. Hold on, nigga. Now we gotta pick one now. It's like, can we use slavery as an excuse and talk about it freely and have our Juneteenth and have our Black History Month and watch Roots every once a year and don't mess with white folks? They used to do that. Grandma and them put Roots on, and everybody in the house ain't talked to white folks for a whole week. But based on how somebody felt, an opinion, not what was factually going on in life at that time.
Because Roots is not even a factual fucking.
not even a factual
movie.
You taught me the other day. Roots wasn't real. I'm like, nigga, Roots wasn't real. I'm 33 years old.
Hell no.
I just realized Roots ain't real.
I just found out.
But Roots was what? Freedom of what?
Speech at that time.
Oh, so I gotta throw the ball back in your court, motherfucker. And tell you, at the end of the day, somebody can take freedom of speech, bro, and mess up the whole narrative of what really go on in life, because they were free to do so, just like Roots.
Right.
So you cut Roots on. They don't really show the white people that wasn't that bad of slave owners. They don't show the white people that paid the slaves and kept the slave with some money. They don't show the exit where some black people got free and the white slave owners gave them land. They don't show. They show.
Why don't they show it? Because
inevitably
it goes against their narrative.
But their narrative was their right, because they had what? freedom of speech. So look what their freedom of speech did, Verbs.
So
I got it.
Their freedom of speech. I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. But to me, that's just like you have the yin and yang, negative and positive shit. People use stuff for positive reasons. People use stuff for negative reasons. And at that point in time, I just feel like people were pushing propaganda by using freedom of speech. But overall, they was pushing that because they had a goal.
Okay.
They had a goal, and that was to fucking miseducate us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Misinform us. That's why they told us Christopher Columbus discovered America. All this bullshit that we find out years later, shit never happened. You get what I'm saying? So it's
niggas can't stand Columbus, boy. You say Columbus, boy, nigga gonna go crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's something about that man name.
Because they've been teaching us about this motherfucker. They've been lying.
That's probably the
only.
only white man we remember out of all them books is Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, and shit, he wasn't even a white man, right? He was fucking
Spaniard or
Spanish,
Portuguese or something like that.
Conquistador or some shit like that. But either way you put it, the motherfucker didn't discover this shit. So, but you know, what I mean, just like I said, the reason why I said freedom of speech is important, and you shouldn't, like, I guess, tread lightly or like play in between, is because I always like to reference Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
A lot of people revere Martin Luther King. I revere Malcolm X because Martin Luther King was the person that was playing the middle line. Like, I don't want to say nothing that's gonna offend white people, but I also want to stay here and show my black people and for them. So I want equality. We gonna turn the other cheek, no violence, whatever. Whereas we have Malcolm X on the other end, like, nah, fuck that. Somebody do harm to you, we doing harm to them. You get what I'm saying? We're not gonna send our kids to school to get taught by our oppressors. Whereas Martin Luther King was like, we want to go to school with the white people. We want equality, like, you know, and we want segregation to end. We want integration. We want to be integrated.
Let me speak
and Malcolm X was pushing, no, we want our own. And I always feel like that was more prevalent to me. Let me speak on it
from just a positive point of view when it comes to Martin Luther. Martin Luther King had a lot of inclusive ideas. And when it comes to life, I look at it like this. As a black man, as a black woman, we all go around saying all the time, you know, everybody come from us. You know, the Asians, they learn karate from us, right? We taught them karate. You know, motherfuckers in Europe wasn't washing their ass till we taught them how to wash their ass, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, the motherfuckers couldn't add monkeys till we taught them how to add monkeys. You know, that white man know how to fry chicken now. They got KFC today, but Colonel Sanders wasn't frying chicken now until my Uncle George back in slavery showed him. My great Uncle George, the one gave him the KFC rep. That's what we say. We say it ain't nothing in this world that doesn't derive from black culture, black people, or black origin or black existence. So to me, what is the problem with anything in this world building off that?
So I don't have a problem with it, and the reason why I can say that is,
does that make sense when I'm asking?
It makes sense, but I'm gonna flip it two ways, right? We know fucking what's his name? Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
Right? Had the Rainbow Coalition, right?
Yeah. He
was uniting, like, basically poor black people and poor white people, letting us know, like, yo, we all part of the same struggle. We in this shit together,
most
right?
definitely.
Right.
You ever been around a poor white boy? He just like you.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'm all for that because at the end of the day, it didn't change his narrative of fighting against the powers that be. He was just saying
against all of it.
Right. He was just saying
it's niggas who want the powers that be.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the truth. And he's fighting against all of that, and he basically incorporating white people in that movement and other races. That's why it was the Rainbow Coalition. Like, yo, we all gotta fight against these powers that's doing this shit to all of us.
Yeah.
It's not just happening to us. So I'm with that. But the Martin Luther King thing, I just feel like Martin Luther King had good intentions that was detrimental to us. And at the end of the day, that's why his final speech was,
his
I feel like I walked
flipped?
My people into a bad building.
Accidentally. A burning building. As in, did you see the fire going on when you was walking? No, because the people wouldn't have walked with you if they would have saw the fire. If I'm walking with you right now, let's take the metaphoric into the literal. If I'm walking with you right now to a burning building, nigga, you not, what? Bro, you not finna go in there with me?
Yeah.
So I feel like when they said inevitably we cannot just walk out of America and leave, there's nothing that we can do. We have to live with these people. These are the sons and the daughters, and we are the sons and the daughters from a situation of struggle that inevitably none of us are benefiting or taking part in no more. We're really just keeping up something that our parents taught us to keep up. And when I go back to my point of saying everything comes from black people, according to black people, you ain't learned nothing under this sun, according to black people, that you ain't got from black braids. I don't care if it's a car. You know, Henry Ford, he learned it from black people. I mean, we not gonna let nobody make it with nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So what is the point of saying Martin Luther King was wrong and saying that everybody's gonna be included when it comes to us liberating ourselves in this United States of America, when in our reality, when we liberate ourselves as free thinkers, black people, first thing we tell ourselves is everything comes from us, so everything includes us. We're a part of everything because we built everything, we started everything.
Right,
What's the difference?
Well, the reason why I say something wrong with it is because
they might have used his purpose they might have used his purpose to further this. You answer my question. They might have used his purpose for a bad reason. You know, or they might have flipped it, or whatever the case, it might not have turned out how he wanted, but his intentions, do you not feel, based on when an enlightened black person says everything comes from us, do you not feel like that lines up with his intentions?
So again, I said he had good intentions, right?
Yeah.
That were detrimental to us.
Yeah.
So I don't think he did it with the intentions of harming black people. Like he obviously did it with good intentions. Like he thought this was the best solution for our people.
Yeah.
Integrating.
Yeah.
Right. And revisiting history and looking at different things, I feel like integration was the worst thing that happened to our people. You get what I'm saying? Because before integration, we had our own. We were more community oriented. We were more organized. We were more because we understood that these people were against us. Yeah. So we got to stick together. And then once you start building the integration, it became more people black people was trying to conform. That's why that's where the straightening combs get invented. Because now the black girls feeling away because they sitting in class and the white girls got their hair done. The white girls making fun of them. Yeah. Now they going home and they mother doing what? Straightening their hair out, trying to make it look like the white girl hair. So you basically, with integration, you basically try to be inclusive and try to be a part of, this society that had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
And I feel like with segregation, we can still work together because we all live in the same country. I don't have no problem with working together, but understanding that we had our own black libraries, black coffee shops, black bookstores, black whatever. Like we had that. We had those. It was several black community that was thriving where the black dollar was being exchanged within the community amongst black people, right? And integration pretty much seized all that. Because now everybody want to be inclusive, and they didn't understand what was happening. And the powers that be, they knew what this was going to be. That's why they allowed Martin Luther King to push that narrative. That's why they allowed him to talk that talk, because they knew it was going to be beneficial for them in the end. Because now the slaves that was once slaves, that was segregated, is now integrated, and they're going to spend the rest of their life trying to keep up and be inclusive with us instead of building their own. They don't want us to build our own.
So I love you. I love the whole statement you just gave, because it does put some power into the black demographic. Don't get me wrong. If we all for each other, that's cool. But I don't feel like no culture, no matter how their neighborhood looks, I don't feel like no culture is thriving without the help, benefit, or the relationship with other cultures. You go look at the Asian community. Man, you might see Asian signs everywhere, but all they money coming from where? Us going buy cigarillos. You know what I'm saying? You might look at a Ralph Lauren. Might be a right man. Might look at a Tommy Hilfiger. He had to never accept the fact that black people gonna buy your clothes, bro. You might not have made your clothes for black people, but guess what, Tommy? We the ones like your clothes. You feel what I'm saying? So when I get on Martin Luther King, I go to the times of like when we had Harriet Tubman. She went and created the Underground Railroad, but would have not been able to sustain the Underground Railroad, maintain the Underground Railroad.
I got a question for that.
And be what it's supposed to be if without them white bookshelves.
Did she create?
It don't matter.
No, I'm just because I really want to know this. Did she create the Underground Railroad, or was she informed about it and
took off with it?
Yeah.
It don't matter. If we wouldn't have integrated white people into the Underground Railroad, where would the Underground Railroad? It wouldn't have been the Underground Railroad. We needed the help of integration doing the Underground Railroad for the Underground Railroad to be the Underground Railroad.
And I think it was helping the Underground Railroad. But again,
does that make sense?
It does make sense. But here's where I go again, and this is where I'm catching you, bro.
I'm gonna catch you.
What? Okay, thank you.
But she was a part of it.
So this is what I'm saying.
And the point
So
is
check it
not
out.
that Harriet Tubman created the
Check it
Underground
out.
Railroad.
Check
The
it out,
point
though.
is that without
'Cause
the
I'm a-
integration of white people,
I'm about to
it
go
wouldn't have
left
been
with
that.
it. I'm about to
It
go
wouldn't have
left
been
with
that.
it. I'm about to go
without
left
white
with it.
people having, you know what I'm saying, the
So-
freedom of thought.
So Harriet Tubman was another one that had good intentions, and what she did was detrimental to us just as well.
The Underground Railroad.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this is what I'm gonna say about the
through
Harriet
freedom-
Tubman situation.
But through freedom of speech, staying on top through freedom of speech. Because I'm gonna get back. We're gonna come back to Harriet Tubman because I don't want to get off topic. I want to stay on.
Got you.
on
Go
thesis.
ahead. Yeah, go.
Okay.
I ain't
Through
gonna forget it.
But through freedom of speech was the narrative about Harriet Tubman and was the narrative about what the Underground Railroad did for black people inevitably changed in our minds through freedom of speech.
See, I don't want to start correlating freedom
Because
of speech.
I have another
I don't want to
point.
start correlating freedom of speech with propaganda. Because
But propaganda is freedom of speech.
No,
I can
no,
say what
because-
I want, bro.
Yeah, right.
No matter
Yeah, I
what
got
platform or what scale, I can say what I want. And get back to my second point. Okay, I feel like, okay, Harriet, they don't like Harriet, y'all. They don't, I shouldn't have said Miss Tubman. Hey, look, Miss Tubman, I apologize. May you rest in your grave. I didn't know you wasn't a real one. We're going to let you make it.
No, it's not. It's
But
not that
let's
she.
talk about-
It's
let's-
not. Hold on. Let me touch this real quick, because I'm not gonna say it's not a matter of whether she wasn't a real one. It was just a matter of people don't understand that all she did was take us from one form of slavery to another. See,
But that-
this is what I'm saying. This is why I said with good intentions, right? Because she went and she took some people with her to go through the Underground Railroad so that they could escape whatever slavery they was dealing with at that point in time in the South. But then she took them up to the North, where ultimately I feel like the Underground Railroad was established by white people to transfer slaves from the South to the North. And some person must have put Harriet on to the shit and told her this was, you can get away. She used that shit to bring people to the North, and we became slaves in factories. So we went from the fields to the factories.
But was
So
you
it's,
getting raped in the factory? Was you getting
we,
beaten?
how,
Was the-
shit,
I mean,
how we know?
We don't know.
We don't, probably was.
We don't know. I mean, did the niggas go back to slavery? Hold on. We do know this. Well, them niggas ain't go back south, did they? When they took
All right,
their
but
ass up north.
here's the thing,
Did they go
because-
back south and say, nah, I'd rather just fuck with Massa?
I don't know. We don't know the
We
full
don't know
story.
none
We don't
of
know
that.
how many people probably ran
don't know
back.
none of that.
We don't know that. But what we do know is that they went from, according to history, working in the slave and working in the fields, not getting paid,
Yeah.
to now working in the factories, getting paid pennies on a dollar.
Yeah.
So still getting slave, but now you're getting something for it.
But are we
so
not
there's
still
people
going through
that
that today, and are we not proud of
Absolutely.
the lifestyle today? And do you
Absolutely.
not feel like that lifestyle is better than the slavery that we come from?
Listen, no, it's worse. That lifestyle is worse, and you know why I'm telling you worse? Because it's slavery of the mind now.
I'm saying
because
it
before
is worse.
before it was just your body was enslaved. Now, when you come from this slavery in the South to slavery in the North, and you're working for a paycheck, right? Now they got your mind enslaved to where you feel like you're
But
free.
your body free.
Your body
on
free,
vacation.
but your mind is slave.
You're wearing Jordan tennis shoes.
And before it was your body was slave, but your mind was free, right?
But based on freedom of speech, you got a million people saying education the best thing. White education was the best thing that ever happened to a black man. That's what you have a lot
Shit
of
was
people
the worst
saying.
thing that happened to us.
And,
Who the fuck said that?
and just getting back to Martin Luther and just getting back to Harriet Tubman case, just to defend my people one time. I'm not saying you offending them, just saying to defend them. And saying if we got a giant to defeat, and I walk up and I punch the giant in the eye, but the giant still can see the giant still whooping our ass. And then Harriet Tubman run up to the giant, Martin Luther King to punch the giant in the eye. Now Harriet Tubman walk up to the giant and kick the giant in the dick. Boom, the giant bend up, but the giant still a giant. I don't feel like a lot of the black people's efforts, Frederick Douglass, all these people, I feel like these were blows at white capitalism and that white oppression that led to what we have today. A lot of niggas might not have benefited or been liberated from what Martin Luther had to say, but I feel like a lot of white people might have heard what he had to say and might have turned
They
they
empowered capitalism.
Huh?
It wasn't a blow at capitalism, it empowered capitalism.
because they was able. Because I okay, how can I explain what I'm trying to say? If I go to attack something as a person that I can't defeat, but I'm going to attack it anyway, where's the honor? And I know what I'm feeling. That's, to me, there's so much honor in that for Martin Luther King to say I'm one man, for Harriet Tubman to say I'm a woman, and I'm even gonna participate and doing something that I know will get me hung, beat, drug, cashed, whatever. I'm gonna take. I mean, no matter how the devil flip it, It's the same thing when you hear people say, I'm gonna go put my money in the church house. You're like, well, you shouldn't do that. The pastor take your money and go buy Lamborghinis with it. I don't care. God know my heart. It's like, do we give people that credit because that was their freedom? Freedom of speech is brought from a freedom and liberation of mind. Them people in their mind, they was freeing their people, and and I don't think they was around to see the effects of their people not even benefiting from their works. I mean, we can't sit up there and say Harriet Tubman lived to see that the Underground Railroad turned out what it to be. We can't sit up there and say that if Martin Luther King was alive today, seeing little white girls dancing on TikTok to little black girls' music, he wouldn't be proud. Because that was his purpose. A lot of times I feel like because of freedom of speech and liberated minds in a negative tone, we take somebody else's purpose and we say, well, our purpose that we feel like they should have been serving wasn't served, so their purpose wasn't served. It's like, nah, Kim Kardashian wears boxer braids. You know what I'm saying? They got sticky bangs now. You know, the black women, they call them slicked edges. Mm-hmm. The white girls that hopped on Instagram and all praise be to Martin Luther King, they got sticky bangs now where they take the same thing the white girls do, but it's called something different. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, now when a black girl go to school, this is what Martin Luther King wanted. Now when a black girl go to school, you don't have the little black girl sitting there right now getting made fun of because her hair is nappy or her hair is beautifully coarse and the white girl hair is straight. You don't have the black girl sitting there right now trying to straighten her hair to look like the white girl. You got the white girl.
They're going to buy $400 weaves to look like the white girl hair.
But
weaves is a billion-dollar industry,
but you still have black women saying that culture appropriation amongst white women is at an all-time high.
Culture appropriation among black women at an all-time high. They wearing fake lashes. They wearing fake-ass weaves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They doing everything to look like a fucking white Barbie doll.
But let's talk about a natural black woman. Let's
that's what I like. I like my natural black woman.
Let's keep a rightful black woman who live her life, you know what I'm saying, outside the status quo. Let's keep her as the example. And unless you know what I'm saying, we just on some other shit, let's always keep her as our primary example.
Got you.
The righteous black woman or the righteous woman, period, if she's not black. Okay, the righteous woman who's black, who says she comes from a culture where white women looked at her and said, your hair is nappy, you know, we don't like you for this, we don't like you for that. Today she's able to sit in the classroom and see the white girl want to be like her and is offended. Her grandmother, her great-grandmother sat in the classroom with a white girl that wanted to be nothing like her and was offended.
Right.
Why? It's all because freedom of speech. Getting back to the thesis statement, because people were allowed to express their opinion back then on how they felt about black people. If they just would have been able to be quiet and not had the right to say that, bruh, then black women wouldn't have felt no type of way. You feel what I'm saying? Now today you have black women on TikTok saying the little white girl trying to jock me and I don't like it. Why? Because she can hop on TikTok and say that when you don't understand that, hey, this white girl, she trying to find herself as a person. That might be culturally identifying with you. That might be culturally identifying with black people, because you have some black people that feel more comfortable getting their money, going to buy a house in a white neighborhood, sending their kids to the white school, going to get a job with the white capitalists. Why? That's like you said, job paid $300,000 a year with the white capitalists. So that's what he going at. How do we feel? We don't, but we as black people always want to reject the people who want to come be a part of our culture and say that's part of my identity. Nah, you can't just take us and be part of, but damn, man, we say everybody come from us. So when a white girl acts black, well, you know, white people really come from black people because of albinos, so she really acting how she really is, huh? But because of your opinion and how you're finna share it, look how the world's finna take that and run off with it because of your freedom of speech. She shouldn't be allowed to wear sticky bangs and call them sticky bangs. Hey, man, she can say what she want to say, man. Right. She can feel how she want to feel. But look how that offends somebody, bro.
Yeah, but offense is offense, bro. Like one thing we can't do is satisfy every fucking body. If it come down to satisfying everybody, then you might as well just don't say nothing. Don't have a podcast, don't have a show, don't have no radio, don't say, because you cannot satisfy everybody. You're gonna say something that's gonna offend someone. So if you're gonna offend someone at some point in time, regardless what you say, then be authentic in what you say.
Yeah, and be true. Because it's a Greek philosopher that I see all the time. I can't remember his name. He say, if you don't want to offend nobody, be nothing, say nothing, and do nothing, and you'll never offend nobody.
And basically that's non-existence.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, so it's like,
dead, die, and you won't offend nobody. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I feel like, okay, freedom of speech, man. We just gonna stay on topic, man, and just keep it rolling. At the end of the day, what's the purpose of it? Is it to free us and allow us to feel like we have a power that we really don't have over people, or have a power in life? Because I know people that can talk that shit. I know some people, like my barber. My barber would talk about you to the depths of your soul and make you want to jump off a fucking bridge. That's his gift. He can talk shit about you to the depths of his soul. You feel what I'm saying? And make you regret even living. Do we not take the power of that just a little too far, man? I do understand there's some shit in life that always has to be said. But with the freedom of speech, I feel like it's like the
bring character, bro.
Man, I feel like it's like the freedom of having a gun. Do people not get unjustifiably shot?
We have that. That's the second one. That's the Second Amendment.
Yeah, that's why.
First one, you can say what the fuck you want to say, and then the second one is you can grip up. So somebody offended.
So look how many black people in jail. I'm gonna keep it on me and you. How many young black men are in jail, bro? Are in jail because somebody had a right to say something. And then somebody had the right to bear arms. Somebody had the right to feel some type of way. So somebody died that night. And it all started with what? Amendment 1, Amendment 2, and then somebody in jail or dead 3. You feel what I'm saying? But I can wear my gun. What if I had my gun on me right now, Verbs? Right now. You got your pistol on you right now. But we don't say shit to each other. We in this strip mall. We in this Walmart. You don't say shit to me. I don't say shit to you. But if I say one thing, then nigga, like you got the black and red on. What you bloody? You like, nigga, what if I am, nigga? You don't even rep. You just try to be a man. Well, nigga, what's up, nigga? What's up, nigga? Oh, I think this nigga crippin'. I gotta get this nigga on. This nigga I see what's bracking. Nigga, we meet outside. We got guns on us. That's all right. I can say what I want to you, man. That's too much red in your little symbol. I just don't like red. So I'm gonna say something. I can do that. That's my right. I'm gonna say I don't like it's red.
Right.
Now this gave you what? Negative energy that was unwanted. We got the right to bear on. I don't feel like you can have both. You can't have the right to say what you want and the right to bear on. You gotta pick one. How you fuck you gonna tell me?
You can definitely have both.
Man,
you can definitely have both.
I feel like we can. I feel like people want to, but look at the cause and effect. I can say what I want, and I got this gun on me, bro. I don't care if you white, black, Asian, Latino, Afghanistanian. I don't give a fuck if you African. I don't give a fuck. That is a dangerous combination with saying people can say what they fucking want. We all gonna live indifferent. We not all gonna live the same.
No, definitely.
And
not.
everybody got a gun on them. And I love guns. I done been stabbed before. I love a gun.
I love them too.
I fight. I got long hair. I like jewelry. I like nice clothes. Don't touch me. I love a gun. But do I got did I come? No. Why? Cause why? I already know I don't need a gun. Cause I ain't got nothing to say to nobody. That's the dumber one. See, I can teach black men right now.
Can't you have a gun on you and still have nothing to say to nobody? Like, dude, you can have a gun on you. Dude, can say all that shit he's saying about your hat, and you can just be like, and walk off. You ain't even got to entertain him.
That's why sometimes I want to send him back to New York. Back.
You ain't got to entertain him, nigga. I'm just saying.
But if you got a million niggas with a million thoughts on their mind, and a million niggas got a million guns, it ain't got to be a million niggas. It could be a million white boys. It could be a million Asian.
Well, when you said niggas, I thought about all people. I ain't thinking about just black. That's
what we gotta get.
We call everybody nigga. We'll call a white person, man. Yo,
is that what we headed
off in traffic?
Is that? And you look up, that's an old ass white man. That's a nigga right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is inevitably, like, is it too much to be able to say what you want, and if you can have the power to take life in your hands? We can, as people, we have the power of God. We can sit up here right now, go lay with a woman, go adopt a baby, and bring forth life and play God to a child. Or I can walk outside today saying, I don't like Verb's beard because I can't get mine that long. It look good short, it look bad long. So I can't stand his beard. Bow. And all they gonna do is profit from that when they lock me up in jail and then take the taxpayers' dollars to pay the warden, to pay the guard, to pay the governor. I locked up this many prisoners. But you let motherfuckers say what they want, then giving them a gun. So it's to me, it's not saying what you want. It's the fact that motherfuckers can do what they want after that. That makes it cause and effect. Because you said this is finna affect my life, his life, everybody's life around demographic right now. I go shoot somebody in the neighborhood right now and make all the property value go down right now behind something that was simply said. Are we not mature enough as a people, as a population, as a society to have that level of power amongst the other type of powers that we have?
But can't you also do the same scenario you just said without saying a goddamn thing? You can just see somebody shining and want to go rob him and go kill him. You ain't say a word to him, he ain't say a word to you. But because you had the right to bear arm, or in most cases, people like for example, New York.
Yeah.
The Constitution say we have the right to bear arm in New York. You don't got no fucking right to bear arm. So most people, when we run around carrying guns as teenagers, we get caught with that shit. You going down, nigga.
Yeah, hard.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's different when you're in states where you can legally possess a gun, right? But when you're in a state where it's like, yeah, you got the right to bear arm, but in certain states that don't apply.
Man.
So now my thing is, you can kill somebody
Yeah.
and drop the property value, same way you said, without words being exchanged, just off of mere envy, jealousy, and this is shit that people possess within them.
Outside of being provoked.
Right, outside of being
I
provoked.
feel like even outside of people being provoked, they already gonna feel that way. So we all walking around as some angry motherfuckers. Why would motherfuckers have anything? Be quiet. You don't need the right to say nothing. Shut the fuck up. You don't need the right to have to say what you feel without consequences coming from that. Because why? People are going through enough. They are bent up enough. They are frustrated enough without having to deal with somebody speaking on their life that has nothing to do with their life just because that person has to feel like they got the right or the ability to do so. You feel what I'm saying? Is the world sensitive? Yeah, because the world is hard, bro. The world, like right now, you say anything about what's going on in Russia and Ukraine right now, you finna offend a bazillion people. You got people that feel like we need to be over there right now, liberating people. We went over to Afghanistan and liberated people. You got people right now that say we ain't got time for that. We got war veterans over here that fought in the last 50 wars that's sleeping on the streets and homeless. We got kids over here that's homeless. We have a drug epidemic that's going on
Absolutely.
here. But it's like
I'm one of those people.
yeah, but if everybody had to
need to mind their fucking business sometimes and worry about fixing what's home. You always want to fix somebody else's problems, and you got worse situations here.
Yeah, but when America get the right to speak on something, what is it always? See, I was always taught, man, that words are simply manifestations for action. So when you speak something, you already done took action. You just ain't took action yet, if that makes sense. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why people say dream and dream big, because as you start taking the steps towards that dream, it happens. So are we not mature enough as a population and as a society, as a people, to say that when we speak on certain things, we are taking action, even if I ain't closed this laptop, okay? If this laptop had voice command, I can say, hey, cut off, and it cut off, I ain't have to touch it. We getting to a point where life is really getting that to where your words is really moving mountains, just like it was predicted that it would do.
Words been doing that since
forever.
The time, right?
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So how can I realize that there's sayings that with just merely words, there were whole seas that were parted, but I can't realize that there's words that I can say that can part somebody from their self emotionally and make them look down on themselves in a way that because I had the right to say that.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
No, I feel what you're saying.
The cause and effect. Like, we have a right to say something like, okay, I have the right to tell my daughter she ain't shit. That's not against the law. My daughter's a straight A student. Most beautiful little girl in the world. Don't get it twisted now. But I got the right to tell my little girl, you ain't shit. My mom used to tell me that sometimes. I still love my mother. I ain't never called the laws of my mom. My mama told me I wasn't shit.
Right.
Do you know what the fuck it did to me when my mama told me I wasn't shit? You're just like your daddy. She has the right to say that. She got the right to say that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're ugly. Damn, my mom ugly? No, my mama didn't tell me I was ugly. What she say, she said I used to be ugly and I really grew into myself and I'm handsome now. I say when I was a little kid, you used to treat me like that too. You used to treat me like you thought I was ugly. You know what I'm saying? But that was the right that she had to express that shit. There was no barrier, no boundary that said just because you feel like your child is ugly, you can treat your child. My mama treated me like I was. She loved me a lot of days. A lot of days my mama made me feel like I was ugly.
Listen, my grandmother, God bless the dead, my grandmother was quick to call me black and ugly. Go sit your black ugly self down. Cause I was the darkest person in my family. And my mom's is my grandma's oldest child. My mom's left the house at 15, so she don't like my grandmom's didn't really like my mom.
Yeah, and she had the right to express that.
She took it out on me.
Was it illegal for her to express that on you?
Nah, it wasn't. It was
Did it
abusive.
feel good?
What the fuck she
what
was doing?
What was the effect? Yeah, because
But
she had the right to do that.
Yeah.
If somebody would say, Grandmama, you know it's a case, they can go file with CPS, you tell the little boy they ugly, huh? I'm thinking Grandma would have told
my
you.
grandma wouldn't have gave a fuck. I'm telling you that.
But Grandma
She'd
still
have been like,
but
she'd
you
have
wouldn't
been
have had to sit there
she'd
and
have
do
been like,
that.
Go call CPS and tell them go get this
They'll
little
tell you call
motherfucker.
CPS. My mama done told me call
Yeah,
that. They
he's like,
tell you gonna get raped in there. That's what they tell you. Like,
yeah.
you call CPS you want to. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen to
Shit,
CPS.
my grandma's was the most devout, gangster Christian I knew in my life.
Yeah,
My
that
nigga.
what
Like
they
she went to
is.
church every day of the week, but like she was just ruthless with her tongue, bro.
Well, how'd that
Like,
make
she
you
ain't give-
feel, dog?
Bro, that shit.
That's
shit
probably
broke.
why you. That
Listen,
broke you. And
it took time for me to build my self-esteem. After
How
that,
you
my
know
nigga. Like
everybody-
I had
how
to
you know
build
everybody-
my own self-esteem
how
up.
you know everybody got the time or the self will or the mental capacity or capability?
Everybody don't. I
So
understand.
why can't
I
we
know,
put that
you know
type of
why I know-
pressure
you
of
know
freedom
why I
of
know-
speech on
You know why I
everybody?
know everybody don't? Because there's this saying called survival of the
Fittest. So if you fit
Right.
the circumstance of survival, you survive. If not, we're gonna do you like the beginning of 300. We're gonna toss every week, baby.
every
and look
week, baby,
retarded.
off. See, but
Why you understand that?
And you know,
He
yeah,
understand that
I
shit.
understand that, but you know what is crazy?
Your grandmama turned you out.
Because-
You
no.
just said, so fuck St. Jude. So St. Jude just exists for no goddamn reason.
Wait, saying what?
St. Jude's.
St. Jude's?
Yeah, you just throw the damn. I give
No,
my $1 to St.
no.
Jude. Every time I go to Panda Express, they say you want to give $1. I give $2 to St. Jude's. So you just said damn St. Jude's. I'm not saying.
No,
I'm not saying. Literally, I'm saying
yeah, I'm not
metaphorically
saying- yeah,
speaking. When it comes to people emotion, when people got St. Jude emotions, fuck them.
I don't even want to use St. Jude's in what I'm saying. I'm not even about to do that. So I'm not even using St. Jude. I'm not talking about St. Jude's at all, okay?
I tried to walk him in it. I tried to walk him in it.
He
I
tried
tried to walk him in it.
Rakim taught me to know the ledge, baby. I
Hey,
know the
look,
ledge.
look.
So this is what I'm saying. Take St. Jude's off the table,
Off
my
the
bro.
table, bro.
Right?
Off the
What
table.
I'm saying is this, right? There's survival of the fit is real. It's there's weak people in society. There's weak animals. There's weak everything, right?
Yes, sir.
And my thing is that sometimes there comes a time where you need to separate what they call it, the wheat from the tear. That's something. I think that's the example they use
Yeah.
in the Bible, something like that, like
Yeah.
the wheat from the tear. And I'm not a big proponent of religion or the Bible or anything like that, but I'm using it because at the end of the day, you do have to separate. You know what I mean? There is a time where, you know what I mean, the weak people need to be here, the strong people need to be here. Even when it comes time to like recruiting for military and stuff, they don't take weak people, right? You got to pass a certain, you know what I mean? You
No,
got to
what
be
they
a certain physically fit, you know what I mean? Certain way, mentally intelligent. Like you have to be strong, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like even with bullies in school back in the day, like bullying is a big thing now. But
It
back in the
is.
days, bullying built
that was
character
life.
for motherfuckers.
Some-
like you learned, for
Some
for some.
motherfuckers killed themselves. Some motherfuckers grew up to be weirdos. Some motherfuckers grew up to abuse other people when they learned how to do it. Some people grew up to take it out on children.
Wouldn't you say that the ones that got bullied, that actually took that and transformed that energy and made themselves, wouldn't you say they the strong ones? Wouldn't you
I
consider
had to
people
do that. I got bullied growing up. Remember, I told you the dude from New York called my shoes Skippies. Today I wear Jordans. I wear all kind of mirror shoes, and I look at that as an ailment, bro. Like I look at like, damn, man, if I step out with some Skippies on because of what partner told me in 6th grade, man, I'm gonna feel like I did in 6th grade. Sometimes I step out through Jordans, I'm like, I'm the nigga.
Now here's the crazy thing about that though, and you're right.
just being 100.
No, you're right. Emotionally,
You know?
you will feel. But here's the crazy thing about that, because now that we get older, even though we wear Jordans, we wear Yeezys, we wear the brand names and shit like that, like I understand that there's nothing wrong with, instead of buying $275 pair of sneakers, motherfuckers going to Skechers, buying $20, $30 sneakers, but they got 100 M's in their bank account.
So
Or they
why?
got
So
900,000 in their bank
we
account.
inevitably wear these $100 shoes because somebody gonna express their what? Their opinion, their freedom of speech. If what? It started with what?
It could be that, or it could be people
I'm not
wear
saying
this
when we
shit
grown.
because
I'm not
people
saying
wear
when we
this
grown.
shit
When you wanted
because
the
of
cool
insecurities,
shoes,
bro.
When you wanted the cool shoes as a kid, you wanted those cool shoes because you did not want
Wanna be
nobody
talked about.
talked about
Right,
you,
that's
bro.
a fact.
You would go tell your mother work overtime. You would go tell your father pick up an extra shift, go get an extra job. I mean, you would go out there cut grass yourself. You would go out there pick up soda can. I mean, I didn't know what hustles y'all had in New York, but I know down south. I mean, in Louisiana, we could pick up pecans and go sell all the pecans to the pecan factory, and they'll give you. It was something ridiculous. I mean, like a cup, like 15 cents a pound for the pecan. Something crazy. I remember I was a little boy. When I got to Texas, it was like we cutting grass. You know, this before the essays took off. It just took. I mean, you used to be able to get a lawnmower as a little boy, and that was like having a full a $40K a year job. You feel what I'm saying? You can go knock out a couple. You don't get no weed eater too back. I was cutting grass when you ain't even need no weed eater. You just go knock the grass out, nigga, and leave the edges like that. They just want the grass down for the city to give them a ticket. So that was you put all this energy not into building who you were so that people couldn't tear you down with what they had to say about you, not with what they could do to you.
What they had to say.
What they had to say.
Right, but that's why I said you got strong. Because, for example, here go some words from the late great Notorious B.I.G. Right?
Yeah.
Sewing tigers on my shirts and alligators. You want to see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Bow. That's that nigga with the fake. No, here come the drama. Wow. That's that nigga with the fake. Bow. Why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place.
Oh,
Play,
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so
Basically
you got some people that get bullied and then that, but then you got some bullet nigga like. Fuck
Yeah.
you talking about, nigga? Don't tell nobody my shirt fake.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's all
Yeah.
on how you react and how you take it. But again, I still stand on it though.
See, I was small. I grew like
I was too.
Yeah,
I was too.
small.
Like
and I was the oldest, and like all my family's from Louisiana. I grew up in Texas, so when I would get it, everything big in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So I'm this little kid from Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? I'm the smartest kid in the class, so I had to take the nerd role. It wasn't no other lane. Like I was telling you about that.
Right.
Man, they wouldn't even let me get in another lane because I was already smarter than everybody. When I would try sports, they'll D me up extra hard. Nah, you ain't finna die. Nah. When I would play football, they had to come knock the shit out of me because I'm already making straight A's in the classroom. How they feel, they taking out on me through action, and they would express that. Why? When I couldn't get clothes from my mother, you know what I'm saying? When I couldn't depend on my own, because why? They gotta survive and defend in life. So they expressing how they feel about me because they can, and it's affecting me because I'm helpless to what they saying.
Did you ever say to them, "Oh, that's why your dumb ass got a 40 on your test"? Did you ever take that route?
Actually, I went to Workman
ranking
Junior,
on them?
I went to Workman Junior High on the east side of Arlington, Texas. I was voted most. That was elementary. By the time I got to 7th grade, that's why I hate when he said the survival to finish shit because it's real. By the time I got to 7th grade, I was the most funniest. Like I got for ranking on people. Like if you go in the yearbook right now, they got me 7th grade and 8th grade year for ranking on motherfuckers.
So it
You know
built
what I'm saying?
character, right? You got ranked on it. You took that shit. You internalized
But
it.
this is what I'm gonna tell people. My feelings was still hurt, bro. Like when I would sit down there and scold somebody, and everybody would laugh at what I got to say, and then they would scold me back, and everybody would laugh. It would just pressure be how I respond. I didn't know when I said that next joke, everybody was gonna laugh hard at what I had to say, and when everything was done, that was stress. That was like, damn, I'm ranking with somebody. I can't go back to this little nigga that just get ranked on, and I'm ranking now.
Yeah.
So it was like more stress for me because now it's like now that I'm standing up for myself, now here they come for real.
Right.
Because they see me getting up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And now they like, nah, who he's going on who? I'm finna go roast on him. Now I gotta roast this nigga. Now this nigga wanna roast and fight.
Right.
So I gotta kind of shut it down with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't there yet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not that I'm a hoe. But I'm
No,
you
I
know what I'm
get it,
saying?
totally
Like
understand,
it's
bro.
common sense.
Yeah.
I'm from Louisiana. If I'm not gonna kill you and I can't whoop you, then my grandma and them used to say, leave you alone.
Yeah.
That's what my grandma and them used to say. Baby, if you ain't gonna kill him, leave him alone. So I look at you like you bigger than me. I ain't gonna kill you. So you got the best. I ain't gonna kill him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I was raised, not advocating for people being murderers or nothing like that based on lifetime circumstance. But if you ain't gonna
Shit, how you was raised with survival.
that's how I was raised.
How
with
you was
survival.
raised with
If
survival.
they not
of fear.
finna kill you, and if you not finna kill you, you might as well leave that alone.
We always raised survival. In a sense, we always kind of raised
Yeah,
survival.
so
of fear.
life got more comfortable for me as I got older. But as a man, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I never really, and I'm just saying this just to keep the podcast all the way real and authentic. I never think because of people's freedom of speech, I ever outgrew certain insecurities as a person. I don't think nobody. I think we learn how to deal with them, and we build security on learning how to deal with those insecurities that we feel like are no longer applicable to our lives.
I agree with that.
You feel what I'm saying? I feel like we build all this confidence, and it's like it's not even true. Like when I wanted to play sports, I played football with Robert Griffin, Terrence Williams, all because, like I told you, when I was in 7th grade, everybody talking me too extra hard. You know what I'm saying? Everybody said, oh, he can't. I dropped one football. He can't catch me. Y'all done dropped the football too. Yeah, but I can catch. You can't catch. How the fuck you saying shit like that?
It's the
Y'all
same,
niggas
yeah.
ain't dropping, boy, in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas ain't Randy Moss, but they was allowed to express their opinion. So with me, I never even really had a genuine love for football, but I took it all the way to Division I college. Tried out for the football team, made it, played ball. I'm talking about really wasting my time.
Yeah.
Because I had to prove
Yeah.
that I could ball too, just because they said I couldn't. What did that? And I'm looking at my life now like, damn, man, you could have Took them 3 years and, probably actually finished college by not being divided. You could have took them 3 years and went and learned the trade. I mean, you really did something to prove. How much time did you waste proving something to people all because they inevitably had something to say to you?
Yeah, bro, because
And I
at
can't
the end
blame
of the
them for
day,
that.
your intelligence and your grades and being the top of your class, like that shit got you the motherfucking Vatican. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you was
Yeah, I'd
able
have
to
been
be
in
in
the
a
Vatican
position
before,
that, yeah, you get what I'm saying? You able to
Yeah,
be in a
I'd have been a
position
student
that
ambassador
most
before.
black kids probably would never be in. So it's like, yeah, growing up in the hood, we look down on motherfuckers that getting fly grades, but that's why I tell my kids now, like, don't be like how my generation was. Like, be that nerd. Like,
that
don't
nerd.
don't make fun of somebody in their class because they getting fucking hundreds on all their tests. You know what I mean?
And
If
people-
anything, that's the person you want to be cool with, bro.
What people
That's
didn't even know, that was a rule in my mother and my father's house. If you came home with a B, that was, my father said that was code for beat your ass. That was, you know what I'm saying? C, I need to catch you and tie you up. And he say, F, I need to fucking kill you. That was like how that wasn't exactly what, but I promise that's like along the line. I know B was beat your ass. And
Yeah.
then it just got detrimental from there.
And you know what's
it
crazy?
was a rule. I went to kids, I tried to explain to kids in school, it's not a rule for you to make straight A's in your house. It's a rule for me to make straight A's in my house. You know,
Right.
they be like, why you tuck your shirt in? It's a rule. My
Yeah.
daddy said it was a picture day. You know what I'm saying? Why you got your bald? I remember I used to have to get a bald head. Oh my goodness, I love my long hair. My dad used to shave my head bald. It was so country. When I told my parents I wanted long hair, first thing my mama told me, you ain't mixed. You know what I'm saying? You ain't mixed with nothing. You ain't mixed. She went through a whole race. You ain't mixed with African. I mean, Puerto Rican. You ain't mixed with Chinese. You ain't mixed with white. You ain't mixed with Mexican. You ain't mixed with nothing. You don't need no long hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I always had to walk around. I had to get my education. I had to dress a little nerdy. And I had to keep a bald head. You know what I'm saying? On top of having sinus problems and having a snotty nose and then being a nerd, it's like, damn, what was I gonna do? You feel what I'm saying? Like, you feel, and I built a life, dude, like, that was just not that. And to a long time, that made me happy until I realized, dude, that really wasn't what made you happy. You just didn't want people to have the right to say shit about you that they was able to say about you years ago.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The freedom of speech took your life this far down, and people didn't even put a fang on you, dude. They would just talk about you, bro. That's how powerful the tongue is. Yeah. So I don't really advocate for taking the freedom of speech away. I just advocate for people knowing the power of it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Do we not realize the power of that amendment? And is that why it's getting ignored? You know what I'm saying? Is that why people are not taking it serious anymore? Because too many people are using it in vain. As kids, we look at the power. I wish they wouldn't have said that. I wish my mama wouldn't have said that, man. I wish my daddy wouldn't have told me I couldn't ball. I told my dad I want to go to the NBA. This motherfucker had the right to tell me I wasn't gonna make it. That he was 5'10", I'm 5'10", and that I'm gonna be 5'9". He ain't never tell me I was gonna take after my mother. My mother got an older brother, that motherfucker 6'4". Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't never say that. They got the same daddy, different mother. So my daddy never told me. All my daddy told me was, I'm 5'10", you gonna be 5'10", your ass ain't gonna never ball. He had the right to say that to that child based on the freedom of speech. Have that as we, I mean.
So I get what you're saying, but I think it also we have to take into consideration that if you don't have certain awareness and certain intelligence, then yeah, you still have freedom of speech, but it's just that your speech may not be effective. Like, for example, like me knowing what I know now, there's no way, even though I had the freedom of speech to tell my kid, yo, you only gonna be 5'10", you ain't gonna be like, I wouldn't say that. No, I'm saying, even though I have the freedom of speech to say that, I wouldn't say that because at the end of the day, I know that you gotta speak life into someone.
Yeah.
So you have to encourage a motherfucker that I don't care if you only 5'5", nigga, Muggsy Bogues made it, Spud Webb made it. Like, you start showing them examples of motherfuckers that was at a certain height and they still made it. So that my thing is, yeah, he got the freedom of speech. I just feel like your father didn't know better to know that, fuck that. I gotta speak life into my son's dream.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is he want, I gotta let him know that it's capable of obtaining.
Like, when I was short, my dad told me I was gonna grow. Like, when I was short and nerdy, my dad was like, nah, dude, like, I hate to say it. He's like, when you grow up, you gonna be tall. And I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, dude, I'm shorter than every girl I try to talk to.
Right.
Every girl I got a crush on, she 3 inches taller than me. Like, what are you talking about? Nah, son, I'm telling you, when you get like 16, your nose gonna stop running and your face gonna start fitting out a little different, and you're gonna start getting muscles everywhere. That's what happened to your dad, and that's what happened to my dad, and that's what happened to his dad.
Right.
And my dad could have told me either one though. But what if he only had had an obligation to tell me a certain way or just be quiet. And I mean a life, not illegal. we're not talking about just necessarily having a legal right to speak on stuff, you know what I'm saying, from your point of view through the freedom of speech. We saying, what if we felt like we had a moral obligation to society to, if like Auntie them you say, baby, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, baby, don't say nothing at all. You remember TJ? You remember Auntie them say
all the time.
Because what is your negative shit gonna change? What is it gonna change? It could over time.
I just question: is it negative though? They say if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. But if I don't have if I don't have something nice to say, according to who? Because now we gotta look at, if I say this, who is the person that's weighing in to say it's a nice thing or not a nice thing to say? Because then at that point, you only want
everybody with an opinion and freedom of speech. That's what makes it fucked up. See, because it's 50 motherfuckers saying how they feel about one thing, which makes that one thing divided.
Fine. So now you got 5 or 50 different ways of looking at that one thing, and that's what makes for healthy.
And I know people like, okay, I got a particular, partner in my life. I'm gonna call him partner because I really defined the relationship that would kind of put him out to life. I tell him all the time, your problem in life is that you give a fuck what people think. Inevitably, what I learned in life was you cannot give a. But I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
But I know he, as a grown man, the people he care about is his family, is his auntie, it's his mama, it's his big cousin who's a strong, predominant black woman in a capitalist society that's making millions of dollars. And he like, damn, my cousin only 3 years older than me. Look at her life. She living in mansions and shit, driving Benzes and buying real estate and having timeshares. And man, I'm over here like, I ain't got this going on. And every now and then when they come around each other, these family members express that to my partner. Freedom of speech. They can tell him that. And every time I see him progressing, I see them to tell him something that just knock him right back. You feel? Because they have the right to. Morally, that mean I feel like they have the right to. I don't feel like they morally have the right to say nothing to them because it's not nothing nice. It's not gonna help them. You're not finna come put them on. Hey, look, I got a way you can get rich overnight. Yeah, come get involved in this cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? Go put your money in this certain crypto. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna advertise no crypto on our podcast, but you know what I'm saying? Like, come put your money in this certain crypto, man. It's finna go up next week. They don't go look for ways like that to help with the brother I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? They're comfortable where he's at because that makes them feel good about where they at.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I hate to say
how it happened.
When you look at a gay man, is that not a part of you that said more hoes for me?
Hell yeah.
So why you can't take that and don't say nothing about homie? You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, when I look at a poor man, a man that don't want to get no money, like I be like, dude, you don't want to get up, get a job? Nah, I like being on drugs. Well, shit, that mean I ain't got to compete with you for a job. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's always good and bad in everything. It's good and bad in the power of the tongue when it comes to freedom of speech, when it comes to being liberated enough to say what you have to feel. You know what I'm saying? I work with motherfuckers every day, and Lord knows, yes, I still have a job. And I have built a successful career at this job because I don't tell people what I feel about them. I hate to say it. I don't tell my boss what I feel about him. I don't tell the person I work with like directly what I feel about them. I don't tell all the dumbasses on my job that I think they're dumbasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. And I do be fake. I might get with another person that thinks this person is a dumbass, and we're going to snicker and call them a dumbass, and then we're going to get back to work. For some reason, work is working out. I get promotions, I get raises. They look at me like I'm non-dramatic, but I am a human being. I do have thoughts, I do have expressions, but I do not let them out for the sake I feel like, what is that going to do on my job? How many people go on their job and use their freedom of speech and then get fired 3 months later from drama?
Right. Well, again, like when I'm talking. And we using freedom of speech generally right now.
Generally,
as far as talking about, I'm speaking in regards to like platforms like this. I'm talking about like you having a political ideology or a religious thought or whatever, a sexual preference, and you speaking that, or you in fear of speaking on how you feel about this topic because of backlash. Like that's more like the freedom of speech I'm coming from. Like, being able to freely speak on how you feel about a certain situation when you have a platform like this. Like, if you're at work, yeah, you can feel your boss is a dickhead, but having the freedom of speech and going to your boss and say, yo, you a dickhead, like
that's not smart.
Nigga, you getting fired, right?
Yeah, like you said
like,
earlier,
come on, let's
like the dude with $300,000 job.
Exactly.
You know
let's be smart about it, right? Yeah, so let's be smart about it. But
not,
what I do want to say,
a dickhead, but
yeah. Facts, we ain't say that.
We ain't saying that, you know
but to the viewers out there, right? I do want y'all to let us know in the comment sections, hit us up, whatever.
Drop them comments.
How do
man.
you feel about freedom of speech?
Do y'all think that shit necessary?
Right.
I mean, at all. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it ain't. But let us know in the comment section. Do you feel like for a productive society, household, family, friendship, is freedom of speech necessary?
Right. And I also want to just piggyback off of what he said earlier, which is, man, do not live your life according to what other people think about you or feel about you. Like, forget that shit. I'm telling you right now. Like, if you're concerned with how other people looking at you and how other people think about you, then your progress is going to be stagnated, and you're going to be always trying to, cater to what other people want from you instead of what you want from yourself.
And if they are looking at you, just know they see something coming that you don't see. There's a greatness that lies inside of you. There's a light that lies inside of you that you may not see because it's shining from you. If you look at your life like you're mediocre, and everybody else just keep having your name in your mouth, in their mouth, maybe you're not mediocre. So, inevitably enough, if people do have something to say about you, always make sure it's something good.
Right. And yeah, man, because at the end of the day, I've been past that stage of where I used to worry about what other people think about me. You know what I mean? And that's more so because, again, I grew up the way I grew up. I had low self-esteem. You know what I mean? Pops wasn't around. I was short. I didn't grow to like 11th grade. Grandma's was, abusive as far as like, punishment, beatings, black ugly, like whatever. Just talk these records, you know what I'm saying?
I got called ugly so much as a child.
I had to wear hand-me-down clothes from my partner.
Yeah.
Because I would,
Last priority.
I probably remember like one pair of sneakers I got bought probably my whole childhood or some shit. You get what I'm saying? So it's like different things like that. And it took for me, when I hit like 15 and I started hitting the streets and hustling, I really started doing that because I was tired of feeling the way I was feeling and wearing hand-me-down clothes or whatever. So I went
So
to get
are
to
black
it.
men hustling because we are depressed?
Yeah.
Next episode. Is that why we get the money?
That's exactly why I got to it. You get what I'm saying?
I can't be ugly and sad and broke.
Yeah,
I
got it.
That's a lot.
You
Y'all
know?
gonna talk about me too with your freedom of speech? I don't know.
So
You know what I'm saying?
I went and I
understand.
started getting it, and then after that, I kind of like built my own self-esteem. You know what I mean? And just, by
Built
me
your own character,
attracting, pretty women and having, because I always had like beautiful girlfriends. Like
Are black men over sexual because we're depressed? Next episode. Oh man.
Yeah, we over
Oh,
sexual
man.
because
Oh,
because a
man.
lot in the community, bro.
God,
It ain't just
man.
depressed, a lot. Like I tell people all the time, like I got a cousin that I'm talking about from 11, 12 years old. Every time he pulled up on me, the first question was, "Nigga, you ain't get no pussy yet?
Yeah, he wanted
Nigga,
like
you ain't get no pussy yet?" I'm like, damn. So me and my man, we always talk about it because his cousin was the same way to him. And I'm like, yo, they put us down a path of fucking just sexual deviance because we felt like at 11 and 12 that it was all about having sex with women.
Yeah,
So now we went on a conquer crutch. Like we used to literally have black and white composition notebooks, and we would write down names of every fucking girl we was smashing, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, but again, that's because of the environment we was in. That's because the influence of our cousins who we looked up to at the time because they was older, they was getting it. They had a lot of women and shit like that. So we felt like because they kept asking us this question, "Nigga, you ain't get no pussy yet? You ain't get no pussy yet? You ain't fucked nothing yet?"
That
We
something
felt
was
like
wrong
that's
if
what
you
we had to
didn't.
do, right?
But see,
Yeah.
that's why you gotta love being from Louisiana. You know, in Louisiana they have children young. You know, my mama had me at 17, but the average age, I want to say, I don't know now, because I've been in Texas my whole life, but I want to say the average age back when my mother was having children was like 14 years old. Well, the good side, because good and bad to everything, the good side of that was, you know, you able to know your great-great-grandfather and your great-grand. You able to ask them questions about, how they grew up and, all that type of stuff. So when I was a little boy, I asked my grandfather who was over, my great-grandfather, I ain't gonna lie, my granddaddy, who everybody in town knew he was over sexual. It was a rumor he was buying, coochie from my best friend mama. Like, I just tell you, this Louisiana for real. You know what I'm saying? So I asked him, I said, I asked my great-grandfather, which was his son. And he was a good man, you know what I'm saying? My great-great-granddaddy, he was that nigga, you know what I'm saying? My great-grandfather was a good man. And I asked him, I said, why are men like that? Because I hear my dad's like that, and, I hear my uncles are like that. Well, during the time, I don't mean to bring up slavery, but during slavery times, you know, that was only the only way a man was allowed to express he was a man was through sexual reproduction. That he knew that because he was a man, that was the cause he was being used for.
Right.
He knew that was the one time his woman humbled down to him. And he knew that was the one time the master would allow him to be a man. You feel what I'm saying? Not to mention when it comes to the rumor of what they call it, the buck busting. You know, the rumor that, you know, they would take the strongest slave and, you know, do him
Brutalize
something
him in
and
front of
brutalize him in
everybody,
front
yeah.
of everybody. Fucked. You feel what I'm saying? I'm with my son. They made us watch that. Well, I'm gonna tell my son, you sleep with women. You sleep with women. You hear me? I'm gonna kill you, boy. You sleep with women. You hear me, boy? If you don't sleep, you gotta sleep with these women, boy. You get what I'm saying? Like, how would I respond as a father, as a brother, who gotta teach the next generation who don't even have sex yet, but just watch Master did that to that man? You feel what I'm saying? How would I respond to that? You feel what I'm saying? So not to just get too deep off topic, but you know, I don't think people think about that when they realize why a black man is really over-sexual. We're attacked, we're hunted, and we're only 13% of the country.
Right.
Half of that percentage favoring our black woman. So we're being attacked and we're at what? A disadvantage for numbers. Well, when animals go through that, they procreate so they can get their strength up in numbers to fight that battle. So how do you know it's not you just wanting to have sex, but it's you wanting to procreate? We don't know.
It is procreate, and then that's why on another one of our segment we're gonna talk about, you know, these Planned Parenthood. You know, we're gonna talk about that.
Oh man, in
Because
neighborhood.
you know that's an agenda too. You know what I mean, to decrease the population. And I'm not advocating or saying what women should do with their body, because you know you have your own body, you can do what you want to do with their body. But I will say this: it takes two people to have that baby, and I stand on this. If you make a baby with a man, even though that's your body, I feel like that man should have some say so in the life of that child. And I stand on that, because anybody that I've ever been in a relationship with, we both made a decision together, whether we was keeping the baby or getting rid of the baby. Like, so, you know, again, that's another topic that we could touch on, because like you said, procreating, it would increase our percentage from being 13% to whatever percent. But if black babies are being aborted 800 times per hour, you get what I'm saying? Like, you get 800 black babies per hour. I think that's one of the statistical numbers that's being aborted. It's like come on now. You get what I'm saying? Like,
And
we could have been more than 13% years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that was our agenda.
Yeah, but that's why they built the clip. But see, I look at it like this: the same thing we said about Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman, that's what they built the clinics for. You feel what I'm saying? Like the black community, you know what I'm saying? They got the gun stores, they got the liquor stores, you know what I'm saying? But the black community got church houses, they got schools, they got rec centers. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be that community. It done birthed track stars, basketball stars, football stars, strippers, gangsters, dope dealers, prostitutes. I mean, all out the same community. Why? Because it's all good and bad and everything. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So, like, I just feel like, you know, just with the whole, you know, just black men being over sexual things, just going back, touching on that, just to stay on that topic while we can, man, I don't think it's no such thing, bro. You cannot want women too much. You can want women. Yeah, I feel like once you're in a relationship, that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You done told this person one thing. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't lived your life enough to be mature enough to tell a woman,
is love cursed by monogamy?
Ah, shit.
Stay tuned. That's gonna be one
that might be the next one.
We're gonna use J-Line.
That might be the next one. We out of time.
Touch on that.
We out of time today. We done ran through that. We ate that little change up. We ate that up. You know what I'm saying? But that was our first episode, man. We thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure y'all getting them comments, man, and let us know what y'all feel about freedom of speech, man. Is it helpful or hurtful to our society, man? I'm DK. It's my partner, Rich Verbs.
Right. You already know. And again, like you said, it's our first pilot episode. You know, it's going to continue to get better, but we do want y'all to tap in, let us know what you think about it. You know, any topics or ideas you would like us to discuss. And this is Two Peas in a Pod.
Two Peas. I'll let you.